Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have here a story that really just encapsulates everything that is wrong with the SNP. It's a story of sleaze, of backhandedness, of two-facedness, of bribery and corruption. Generally, just low-level skullduggery, performed by what can only be described as a serial loser who has lost every election he's ever tried to fight, and who is deeply mired in the trials and tribulations of another person who's an MP in the same constituency. Not MP, MSP, in the same constituency. One wants to be the MP, one is the MSP. And of course that is Michael Matheson, because of course the person we're talking about is Toni Giugliano, who is, by any measure, the least appropriate person to ever represent anyone, let alone at Parliament. I wouldn't let him post a letter for me. We'll take a look at him, see how bad and corrupt he is, and see how absolutely desperate he is to become an MP so that he can get all that lovely money and do sod all for it. Here goes. Now, I say he wants money for nothing because that's in keeping with the seat. Falkirk at the moment, of course, is currently, and I use the word represented quite inappropriately, but represented nonetheless by Paul McNally, who is Scotland's laziest MP. He literally does not get up to speak. He doesn't sit on committees. He does nothing. It's amazing, isn't it? All that money and does sod all for it. The SNP way, though, isn't it? But we'll have a look. SNP serial election loser. Well, they're all losers ultimately, aren't they? Is accused of offering rivals sweeteners to withdraw from the contest for the safest nationalist seat in Scotland. And there he is, a fine figure of a man, Toni Giugliano. And he's in the running to be the MP in Falkirk, which has the biggest majority in Scotland, but has been accused of attempting to use his position to gain votes. He looks like someone you just wouldn't trust, doesn't he? Hey? And I don't know, is that a comb over? That's a very bad picture. But it doesn't half look like he's got a comb over. And if he has, I mean, there you go. Dishonest. Try to hide the fact that he's as bald as a coot. I've got more hair on my elbow than he has on the top of his head. And I don't mind if he's bald. Don't have that problem. I'm going bald myself. But I'm not wearing a bloody comb over. Anyway. The SNP candidate for its safest Westminster seat has been accused of offering his rivals sweeteners to withdraw from the contest. Nice bit of sleaze, little backsheesh. Here's some money, sod off. You know, it's like a reverse protection racket, isn't it? Toni Giugliano has been a serial election loser for the Nationalists, being defeated 4 times when trying to run for elected office. Let's hope it's 5. But he was chosen by members in Falkirk in a tight run and controversial battle, with him pipping local councillor Paul Garner by just 19 votes. He has now quit as the party's policy chief so he can focus on retaining the seat. And it shouldn't be too hard because the last guy did nothing and got the seat and got a 15,000 majority. So if he takes over, who knows, might even increase it. But I doubt it. It's up to the people in Falkirk, please, for heaven's sake. Labour, whoever's second in that seat, everyone, whatever your political leanings, vote for second. And don't let Toni Giugliano become an MP. He's the worst person. Even SNP people know how bad he is. Anyway, he's part of... the seat will be vacated by barber Paul McNally, who was revealed last year as Scotland's laziest MP. Ta-da. He is part of the 8-strong exodus of Nat politicians who are waving goodbye to the House of Commons at the next general election. It's actually, they've lost 10 now, haven't they? Because they've got the 8 that announced they're going, including Mary Black, thank heavens. Margaret Ferrier has done the sod off. She's gone. And Angus McNeil he's also left across the floor, and, standing as an independent. But again, not SNP. So they'll be losing 8, 2 gone and 8 to go. And for the ones they're replacing, not all of them are going to win the seat when they come back in. So there's going to be more of them gone. Anyway, the party hold a massive majority of nearly 15,000 votes in the constituency, which is the largest of any seat in Scotland in terms of majority. But the selection process for a candidate has been mired in controversy, with Mr Giugliano being accused of offering sweeteners to his rivals in order to procure their support. And we did the video the other day about all the sleaziness that involved him and Michael Matheson. So, gosh, the poor people of Falkirk. You've got Matheson, a liar, a thief, a real family man, huh? A man who breaks the law with rental properties, a man who is a bully, a man who his local council want him to resign, a man who his local party want him to resign. You know, and yet people still vote for him. What has he got to do to put people off voting for him? And now you've got Toni Giugliano, another one totally unsuitable for public office. Anyway, Toni Giugliano has stood for election 4 times in 2 different constituencies. He lost out in the European Parliament race in 2014 and suffered humiliating defeats in 2016, 17 and 2021. Mr Giugliano unseated incumbent Colin Keir in Edinburgh Western, but he lost the constituency to Scottish Lib Dem Alex Cole-Hamilton in 2016. He got the incumbent, was there, and he challenged him at for the position for the next election. But then went on to lose it, which is good. He was soundly beaten by Christine Jardine in Edinburgh West in the 2017 general election, despite the seat previously being held by Michelle Thompson. She's another bonkers one and all, isn't she? And then in 2021, he lost out in Dumbarton to Scottish Labour's Jackie Baillie. And I don't think you'll be winning that one back anytime soon. It's now been reported that he may face an internal probe after complaints were made about his conduct during the selection process for Falkirk. There's all sorts of shadiness going on, and again, we did that in the video the other day. The Scottish Sun reported that he had been accused of manipulating the process while he was the SNP national convener and tried to persuade others not to stand. The paper reports that he tried to undermine his closest rival, Paul Garner, by striking a deal with other contenders. He told One that suggestions a deal could be struck around you potentially endorsing me. He added, "There's things I could do for you." In other words, vote for me, and I'll do it for you. So it's one hand washes the other. It's a circle jerk, isn't it? He was heaping on pressure during a chat when he said, "Did we want Paul to win this or not?" And that he could really value an intervention from you if you were willing, before claiming that your support would make a big difference and all this. Well, I can see how you can go and ask for support. But there was, offering sweeteners like, vote for me and, a little bit of something will come your way. Most improper. But unsurprising. It is, after all, the SNP. And they've got people like him there. A liar and a thief and a man who throws his family under the bus. A man who breaks the law with advertising. A man who's accused of bullying. And on top of that, a man totally inept and stupid and incapable of doing his job as health minister. Dearie me, can't seem to catch a break, can he? Anyway, concerns were raised about him by local politicians, including Michael Matheson, Michelle Thompson, Martin Day, and the current Falkirk incumbent John McNally. But the prospective MP denied that rules were broken when approached. Well, that's always well and fair. They always deny everything. Never going to get the truth out of them, is they? He said, "I'm honoured to be selected by members of Falkirk and look forward to taking our message of hope to voters. Hope, hope, hope. This is the SNP. The only hope you have is for an early death so you don't have to sit in their hospitals for too long." Look at him. God. Can you imagine that? Representing you. He'd be smiling in your face as his hand would be in your wallet. Really would. Coming up. So there you go, good people of Falkirk. Look to your betters. Look to the people who want to represent you. And say, really? Is that all you got? Is that the best you got? Is there anyone? Dear heavens to Betsy. It's bad, isn't it? You just haven't got a choice, have you? Between the shitty one and the even shittier one, or the sleazy one and the even sleazier one. Politicians, eh? They're all awful, truly awful people, and some are worse than others. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed that one. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will see you next time, and goodbye.